Good evening, everyone, and good morning to those of you who are on the morning side. Hi, everyone. So my title is Shop Opening. I'm just going to start straightforward with it, but first I need to know if my sound is working. So I'm just gonna wait till I get some confirmation because everything is working on my side, but it should be a shame. It would be a shame if my sound isn't working. And I have an entire story for you here, and you don't hear it, or at least it's a shame if you're interested in it. If you're not interested in it, then, well, never mind. Just going to check. Thank you, Paolo, and welcome, everyone. It is not the best picture of PG-16. It's a bit more yellow than it's on the frame around me. And I do notice that some things have moved a little bit, which is annoying. Can I kind of change that? No, I can't. Anyway, I'm going to try it anyway. Can we move it? Anyway, you can kind of change it here. Oh, I can change it with my mouse. Although that's not working. The picture isn't big enough. That's it. Sorry if you're wondering what I'm doing. Here I am. This is really annoying if the picture isn't big enough. There we go. That's better. Sorry, that was just a detail. I have this color. I haven't made that yet, ever. The black screen was my fault. There was just a black, like the picture was a little bit too small, so the line on this side was a little bit too thick. The black line on the outer frame was a little bit too thick. I'm afraid I have more issues when it comes to those details now. Let me just get back to the chat real quickly. That's okay. Although I would love, if you don't have a drink, I would love you to be slight tipsy or drunk when you enter my shop, when I open it in the end of this stream. Might be good for the sales, I don't know. I haven't made this color yet, but I will offer it in this shop opening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it now. While I'm making it, obviously I'm going to talk with you and reading the chat. And then I'm going to swatch it, let it dry, take a picture of it, put that in Photoshop to get it into the same format as my other pictures, and get it on Etsy, and then open my Etsy shop. So literally you're here on a little bit of my journey on opening the Etsy shop. 3 minutes ago, how long am I online? 3 minutes ago, I was still working on the shop update. It's all pre-orders, I've said that before. But yeah, cheers. All the drinks are fine. If you're hyper on coffee and then enter my shop, I think that would kind of work the same. Sylvia, welcome, and obviously Creative Colors, Ian, Gulchen, Sebastian, Mark, Paolo, I saw you, Mr. Pigments, Ian, I think I've already mentioned you. Who else did I miss in person? Anyone that I did miss, make sure to give this stream a like. I haven't said that in a while, I'll notice. I noticed that in my likes as well. Just joking. Let's get this on. So PG-16 is zinc green. And I think I don't even have pens for this. This was a last minute decision. I've had this for a while. I said that last week, like I'm going to make it next time. So I will. But then I thought, I don't see this on Etsy. I've seen it a few times, maybe. off and on-ish. I've never made this before. I should probably wear a mask, but I'm just going to be very careful. That's not really a good example I'm setting here. It looks as a pigment, as a pure pigment here, and it's not pasta sauce, it's just pigment. As a pure pigment here, and on the slab. So with, you know, without the glass around it and just naked in front of me. It looks like a light sibling of PG-17. It's just one number difference, but it doesn't have to do anything with that. PY36, do I have that like as a pigment or in my shop? Oh, Mr. Pigments, you're asking. Then you're asking about if I have it as a pigment. Let me check it for you. In the meantime, I'm just going to multitask here. PY36, 35, 35, 35, 36. Yes, I do have that zinc yellow. I have a zinc yellow as well. I think 2 versions. Though I'm not sure because I don't know what happened there. But yes, I do. But you know how I think about the yellows. I want my yellows to be something unique and a good mixer. And something single pigment. So this camera is not doing it any justice. It is more yellow than this. I'm just going to have a quick look if I can show. Yes, this is the more intense, bright yellowish look that it actually has. So. Do you want me to do a... yeah, I can do that. I am really jealous of you, Creative Colors, because I cannot listen to my own music here. Copyright issues. Let me just get quickly. Good evening. Could you tell me something about PG-16 zinc green as a pigment, please? The history and the use of it.
Good evening. PG-16, or zinc green, is a vibrant green pigment. It's known for its stability and non-toxic nature. Historically, zinc green hasn't been as widely used as other greens, like viridian, but it's valued for its opacity and good mixing qualities. It's often used in artistic and industrial applications where a bright, consistent green is needed. It was developed as a synthetic pigment to offer a safer alternative to some older, more toxic greens. Do you have a specific use in mind for it?
I'm actually going to sell it as a watercolor paint.
That sounds fantastic. Zinc green can be a great addition to your collection. It's a stable, non-toxic pigment with good opacity. Are you planning to highlight its unique qualities in your marketing?
What do you mean with marketing? I'm just promoting it here on YouTube.
Got it. Promoting on YouTube is a great idea. You can showcase the unique...
Okay, never mind. Thank you, chat. Oh, I need to seriously close this down because otherwise OpenAI will record my entire life. We don't want that. So there you go. But this is ChatGPT. Always check it. I mean, I haven't looked into it very detailed lately. I've looked into it before I, well, when I ordered it, I think. But I don't know at the top of my head. The opacity is kind of obvious for me. It has, you can see it here. Barely has any transparency, so it's quite opaque. Also very comparable to PG-17. I need to read back to the chat because it's about gaming, I think. Oh, nice, Sylvie. You got a small gamer parcel today. That is nice. I could use earbuds. That's very true. But that's, I don't know. I think I want to hear you as well. I think in my head I created your individual voices for you. I have no idea how you all sound in real life. I know of the Sebastian. I know Mr. Pigments, Mark. I think that's kind of it. This is not a mixture. Zinc green is, or is it like a chemical mixture? Do you mean like that? Which you know what I mean with chemical mixture. Like cadmium green, for instance, is a what I call chemical mixture, but I don't know if that's the right term for it in English. I don't know how comparable this is to cadmium green, as it. Yeah, please paste it, Paolo. And I think that was kind of stuck there. I don't know if that was for you as well. Lost a few frames there, a few seconds of the... Or maybe that was just the software. Yeah, feel free to... Oh yeah, that's that rings a bell. It's weird that I've thought that before. Things like this. This is a single pigment. I think that's kind of a weird thing when it's such a obvious mixture. It looks close to PG17. I agree, but I can have a look if I can find a... Well, I have loads of bottles of PG17 over here. Let me just grab a random one. Not too random. One that is very similar to the one that I actually have in my paint. This is PG17 as a pigment. This is PG16 as a pigment. It's more yellow and lighter. So the 17 looks like this. So it's darker. Absolutely. You have lighter versions of that, but not as light as this when you see it in real life. Thank you, Paolo. Oh, I've made PBK10, yeah. It feels kind of done. Yeah, thanks for the page. I will look it up. It's the one closest to me, the Pigment Compendium. I'll have a look at it. Thank you very much. It's not a pigment that just as my commentary on myself making it. It's not a pigment that feels unfamiliar. So it is let's call it a chemical mix. It is a mix. It's still a single pigment paint. It's PG16 in the Pigment Index database. But it feels kind of similar. If it does feel like PG17 completely, I don't know, maybe a little less. Is that? Let me have a look if that was a. No, it was dried. Maybe a little less pasty when I'm making it. More flowy. And why does it stick that much on the glass? Very good question, Creative Colors. Well, I'm sorry, wrong one, but I will answer that as well, Gulchen. Well, I did say it's less pasty than PG17. This is a very, very, very opaque pigment. So this is the thinnest layer, and literally I'm going to clean one so you can actually see it. 2 hands. I cannot get more off the plate than this. This is dry as well. It's very, very opaque pigment. So this is barely any paint that's on here, and yet it's quite visible. So it looks like there's a lot on the slab. It is not. How similar is this to phthalo green yellow shade? Very not similar. I think you can use this as a pure. I still need to swatch it as a pure pigment, as a single pigment, without it looking too synthetic, too chemical. And this looks more natural. I think every phthalo pigment looks too artificially, right? If that's a word, but you probably get what I'm saying. I literally just swatched indigo, one of the new colors I will add to my line of paint. And I'm quickly going to swatch this, take a picture of this, and letting it dry. Oh no, letting it dry and then take a picture of it. Okay, mix with a bit of white. Yes, you want to see the tint of it. Absolutely, Sebastian. I noticed I didn't print any times for it. Any pens. Swatch time, pens. Don't read and speak at the same time. I haven't printed any. I didn't print. I don't have any pens for this, but I do have dot pens, so I will start with that. Swatch time. Such a barbarian, just swatching with the paper in my hand. I do like this. I like this a lot. I am quite surprised by this because it did feel like PG17 like the entire time. Let me quickly see if I can find the greens are here. I will show you phthalo green, by the way, as well. Right on the pens? No. No. That's just too much manual labor, extra manual labor for me. Literally, I can't get anything done if I start doing that. PG17 next to it, as you can see, a lot darker. If you can't see, now you can. A lot darker. Phthalo green blue shade. I know you asked for yellow shade. I know, but I just can't find that. It doesn't have to do anything with it, but PBK10. I'm panicking here. No, I'm not panicking. I'm just misplacing swatches. That's all. No panic. A little bit of panic. Where is it? Come on. Sap green. I don't want sap green. It's lovely, but I don't want that. I want PG24. No. 36. Come on. 26. No. This pile of pigment, this pile of swatches is seriously against it. Working against me here. Why? How? Why? PG50, 51, 23, PBR, 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 PY, PV, oh that's random, PB, that's very random, PG 39, no. I will show it in a minute. First I'm going to really need to find this. It's not the only one left in it now. Okay. Really need to find PG 36. I think this entire stream will be me looking for the right swatch papers. And don't let me get anyone who just, you know, starts with, you need to reorganize that, or I have a solution for it. I bet you do. Come work for me. There's loads of these things here in my studio. It's getting more and more and more and more and more the more I get. Unfortunately, I keep getting stuff. Maybe because I don't stop buying stuff as well. And with stuff I mean pigments, and with pigments I mean a lot. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself here. I'm just going to deny that I ever do this without any, you know, audience, because there's no one here to prove it if I do. Do I have Syrian red actually in my list of? Yeah, I did add that. You are kidding me, right? PG36 is not here. It's not here. It's just not here. It is not here. How is it not here? I do like this, by the way, as an example of... I'm just going to talk about something else and distract you from that I didn't find my swatch. This is PG16, PG17. I think there is kind of a similarity with PBK 31 and 32, like in the way that this is bluer and more like leaning towards that side. Well, this is more muted. I don't know if I need to hold it like that or this, but there's some similarity in this. And I'm way behind with the chat, but in the meantime, did kind of dry. Needs to dry a little bit more. I'm going to find PG36, just not now, obviously. Okay, so thank you, Creative Colors. Pigment Compendium. It is a quite a large book, and I read that Sebastian said, oh no, not another book to buy. This is not only in weight, but also in price, worth a few other books. So something that I think is worth it if you're interested in pigments, if you're not interested in pigments, and if you just like to read about pigments, this isn't the right thing, right? I mean, this is not something that you just buy for the nice stories about pigments and the pictures, mostly this. These are the microscopical images, which I do use, you know, to teach myself about the microscope as well. Did Gulchen call dots already? Because I wasn't there yet, but I thought about it myself right now. Let me just get back to the chat real quickly. Natural indigo looks kind of stringy. No, it wasn't stringy. My swatch was too wet when I dried it on the heater, so the paper curled up and it all went here. Although it's not really bronzing, I'm really glad with that. This is, you know, the picture was good enough for my Etsy. So there's that. Let me have a look. Thank you, Sentient Tense. Really appreciate that. No, the Pigment Companion is not cheap. Thank you, Gulchen. Yeah, number of pages. Paper's quite thin, high quality but thin. So yeah. First, I'm definitely going to put these in dots. Let's just start with a few now. And I heard Sebastian's asking for adding a little bit of white. I'll add titanium white to it to see what will happen when we're tinting with it. And someone asked about blue, I think. Let me know what you want to see with this. Now is the time. You know, the thing is, and I actually wanted to say this as well. I've been like a minute before I opened the software and started streaming, which actually took almost a little bit longer than a minute. I was working on my shop update, and I've decided, and I haven't shared that with you yet, that I'm opening it really small. Basically, I've told it in the WhatsApp group, or the WhatsApp group. I don't have a WhatsApp group. Instagram group, a DM. I've shared it there, and I'm sharing it here. So if you're interested in my paint and you are watching my YouTube, and I am really, 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 I really appreciate my audience here, and I'm really thankful of everyone over here. I want you to be the first, kind of a not a private opening, but a kind of a private thing, without shouting it, you know, and making announcements on Instagram, because I wasn't sure I was going to make it today. I still am not sure if I'm going to make it today. I'm literally still pouring dots of the first time I made a paint that I literally want to sell this evening on my Etsy. So that swatch needs a picture when it's dry, and then put it in the format so it fits nicely in my Etsy. So I'm literally not finished with my Etsy yet, but yeah. You'd like to see PG16 very diluted. Okay, that's a good addition as well. I can, ooh, that's quite a generous pen. Lucky person who will get that. That's kind of 2 dot pens. If I didn't know any better, I would say PG16 is a mixture. It's actually separating. It's slightly separating, but not in a way that makes it feel like a cut down pigment. I have encountered pigments that when I mix them, especially when I mixed them, scraped it on the plate, and when it was like in a pile, like it's over here right now. I think my camera is a little bit, it could be a little bit more like this. Obviously it springs back. Just moving my slab. If it's like over here, you see a slight of a slightly white haze over it. It's like, I don't know what the right word for that is, but a kind of a white marbling effect you see through it or on it, which most of the times kind of hints towards something that has been mixed with a filler. Not always. It reminds me of that, but this is actually just a more blue version of the green, and this is a slightly more yellow, lighter version of the green around it. But that makes sense, knowing what we know now, thanks to Paolo. I will just save a little bit for adding white. I think blue, someone wanted to add blue, and a wash. So let me get a new brush. Do I need to get a new brush? I still have my brush over here. I might need a new piece of paper. Let me just do it next to this one, shall we? Can we do that? We can. we can do that. Very diluted. Let me have a look if this is very diluted. I think this looks quite diluted. So this would be a full wash of this pigment. Let me just grab this and turn on this. So this is for Mark, a very diluted, kind of a spring leafy kind of green. Going to look for whites. Titanium white. It's a very natural looking. I think the natural is the right word. It doesn't look like it's a lime green, like a synthetic, very unnatural looking light limeish green. I think it's quite a nice natural looking green. A little bit of the white powder. Just kidding. And we're going to add some of this. I'm going to have a look if I can just put my phone on the paint-ish, kind of, if I can do this and then do this. We can do that, right? Yes, we can. Okay, so this is titanium white. With zinc green. So as you can see here, I think the colors are quite accurate on the screen. As you can see here, it's the blue shines through, I think. More of the blue shines through when you add white to it, which is, I think, interesting. It's less yellow than the separated part here. And definitely less yellowish than the swatch and the wash. So more of the blue shines through when you add white to it. Obviously, mixing it with titanium white makes it not less opaque at all. But I think this is a really interesting mix. Let me just make a little bit of a mess and just add this brush, which barely had any paint to it anyway. And now I'm adding paint first from the side. It's very opaque. I think I can add even more whites to it, but adding white to it made it darker. I don't think it's darker. I think it is the blue that shines through. You don't need to check the white powder. Trust me, it is a vintage bottle of titanium white. So I think that looks more like chromium oxide. A little bit darker, a little bit cooler. Interesting. We're going to see. We're going to have a look at how it dries. And we're going to use a little bit of the paint to mix with ultramarine blue. Let's see if I can find a vintage bottle of that stuff as well. I probably can. I have multiples. Let me get the most vintage of ultramarines I have. I don't want to brag or anything, but just, you know, for the sake of it. And just because we did it with the white, let's make a slightly bluer line over here. And I'm going to add a little bit of the paint. Let's have a look if I can find a spot that is clean enough. That's nice. You only see the reflection. I can switch a bit with these. I wouldn't say this is going to get you a nice turquoise. It's actually going to get you something very... That's bluer than this. It's weird stuff. The wrong Ian. Nice. There's an Ian somewhere on the world who was very happy that he was added as a friend, and now he was unadded again within the minute because she chose the wrong Ian. So, I don't know if you want more ultramarine blue with this. Where's the lens? There it is. It doesn't autofocus when it's on the webcam mode. It looks like a green chromium oxide. Yeah, it looks like a heavy version of it or something. I don't know. It feels like that's the proper way to describe it. The mixture with titanium white tone. Here you see what I meant, you know, by the white kind of separating layer or marbling on it, especially here. When a pigment has filler. Chromium oxide green is never a happy color. I've never thought about it like that. And now it makes me sad. It isn't. You are absolutely right about that. Let's swatch the blue, ultramarine blue mixed version as well. I have to say, and I don't know if this is of any interest of you, this pigment dries up quite quickly, as I noticed on my slab, as I noticed while mulling it, but also notice here, it's quite cold here. My hands aren't turning too white, but it is quite cold here, and yet this pigment dries up pretty quickly. It's not very dry. It's a little bit dry, but it's not very dry. So it's a pigment that dries up pretty quickly. That is something I did notice while making it, and right now. Let's swatch this. Do I have something to swatch with still? It's good enough. Good enough for now. Let's get rid of this. No, Creative Colors, I do have heating on, like there's a heater behind me. But to be honest, it's not high enough for me to stay here for hours. I actually do like this is the pure version as a mixed pigment, but pure version. This is with titanium white, which makes it a darker version, which is still something I can't wrap my head around, but I'm just going to accept it. And this is a darker version with ultramarine blue, and I think as a trio-ish. One moment, please. Let me just dilute the white mixed one a little bit and just get, I don't know, just something underneath here. That's way too much. Let's get a little bit of the brush to see what that wash looks like underneath everything. Because it's just yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, Mark, I just did, but only on a very, very tiny piece of paper. Hey, watercolorists, welcome. I'm going to reopen my shop today, so if you want to try if I can ship to you, now is the time. No, not now, actually. I do like your humor, Paolo. Let's have a look. So here, this is a very diluted version of this, and now it looks like that, more like that. Which is really weird for me. This is not the right one. This is my microscope here. And we don't need to look at this paint with this microscope, at least. So yeah, weird pigment here, weird pigment. When it comes to mixing, just going to write down, let's have a look with plus PW6 plus PB29. And I'm going to take a picture of it. And I'm going to color correct the picture. Color correction I do on my phone, because I can just hold my phone next to the, you don't see it, like next to the image here, so I can color correct it here. I do trust my screen. This screen. I do like this screen very much, and I think looking at my other pictures, I need to retake some. I really need to retake some pictures of swatches that I have on my Etsy. But when it comes to, using this, I think it's quite good. Sylvie's, I've been closed for months. I think you had more sales this year than I had. Not that you know, please visit her shop as well, but I don't know if I can be considered a competitor at this time for you. Andrea, welcome. Nice of you to join as well. I'm just quickly going. I'm not texting anything. I'm sending my picture to my laptop here, and this should be open here or there. Putting it in the right spot over there. No, I don't want to add extra text to it. No, I don't. I do want to see it. Let me have a look here. There's the one. Then I'm going to add it here. Blowing it up like this. Obviously need to do something different. There we go. Sorry everyone, I'm just quickly going to save this, cancel it, save the image. It needs to be a little, slightly darker. Yeah, this is better. Saving it. So I have one Photoshop file. This is bonkers. I have one Photoshop file with all groups of layers for every pigment that I sell. And that file's getting too big because I don't compress my images when I put them in Photoshop, and it just keeps piling up, and it's like I need to try to fix that as well. We're Europe based here, Sebastian. South Africa. I think last week something happened in the world where we're not talking about continents anymore, but just two parts of the world, the US and non-US. Well, there's parts that we can forget about as well as non-US people, but I don't want them to join the US either, actually. Let me have a look at this, and then we're going to make a JPEG out of it and then call it PG16 because that is what it is. I have, Sylvie. I've told you that I've answered that question, but that's okay. I'm getting an error again from YouTube. So maybe it is. No, it's not on my side. Photoshop stopped doing its thing now. Now what the hell is it? Let me have a look. We're going to replace this image, which was a temporary filler for PG16. Going to apply it, and I think, let me have a look. Yeah, let's not talk about that Musk gate, and we're not going to talk about the ancestors as well, Sylvie. That's fine with me. I think I showed PBK10, and now I put it away again. But seriously, PG36. It's like the second on the second on the pile here. How is this possible? It was not okay. 1636. Quite a big difference. 7. 1636. So yeah, there's that. We found it. I was actually looking for PBK 10. Now I'm not going to find it. And I'm actually afraid I will drop everything here. In this. If there's any lagging or losing of frames, please let me know, because I don't know why this yellow bar is back again. It frightens me. Let's do some cleaning up here. First, get rid of the that's a bit harsh. I need to put everything aside here. This is kind of dried up. We can use it for we can use this. Is good. Now it's mixed with this one. Never mind. Just going to not use it. Oh, that's scary, Sebastian. Sylvie's, you're sharing a Kramer number, I think. I don't have it from Kramer, the graphite powder. No creative colors. Don't give her ideas like that. More paint is good. More paint is desirable. We want to have bigger palettes. I like it too, Gulchen. That's the only bit of marketing I've done today. Trying to convince people they need more paint. Well, yeah, it's never... If I have the feeling I don't have enough pigments yet, how can you have the feeling you have enough paint now? Sorry. But mixing takes a lot of, you know, it's... I do have to say, you know, I think I'm going to agree with you on this, that it's possible, but that is... You can look at it from two ways. I'm also looking at it, and you're probably looking at it like that as well. You can make all the colors, but can you get all the characteristics, the personalities of your pigments in those mixes? Am I falling away now? My screen is kind of doing weird things here. Let's just close everything I don't need. So the characteristics of some pigments, like this PG16, mixing it with white, making it darker. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I'm actually not seeing it from the point of view of a paint maker, but from a pigment collector. If I were to look at my product as a paint maker, I would be way better in marketing. I would be way better in selling my things, and putting way more effort in announcing and countdowns and things like that, and hyping up my store opening again. But I love the quirky way that some pigments work, and how they act on paper. And I know that with a lot of art forms, when it comes to watercolor paint, how they act on paper isn't the most important thing. It's the color they give, and maybe how they flow, maybe it's and if they granulate or not, how opaque they are, or how transparent. Those are all personality traits that are obviously a big part of it. It's not always visible on the paintings exactly. But for me, it's really important. It's part of what gives me joy working with pigments. And Mark, thank you. I'm glad you agree with me on that. But it's okay if you don't agree with me as well. It's my opinion. It's the passion, the fascination that I have for pigments that I want to share in my product, and that product happens to be watercolor paint. So it's more. I look at more at it like that, and maybe financially or business-wise, it's not the best way of looking at it. That's why I hope at least like 5 million people will join my YouTube. No, it's it would be fantastic if I can share my passion through YouTube as like a main source of income, but that's not something I consider to be realistic at this point. And then share that passion even more with people who are really interested in the product as well, in the physical product as watercolor paint. Now it's kind of the other way around, and you really need to make paint, and then I sometimes just lack the time of making YouTube videos. So yeah, ideally, I think looking at that passion and the fascination for the pigments, collecting them, and I just have to pair each pigment with a Pokemon. Yeah. To answer that question, how much did it cost to get my paint, I think, to Hawaii? It's €10 shipping internationally. I might need to change that, by the way, and I might need to make that €11 because the rates have gone up like a lot. But then there's the VAT taxes that will be added on your side. So probably, Sebastian, I don't know how much taxes it is for you. But for me, internationally, shipping used to be €10 to everywhere, except India, because I have lost too many parcels there. So yeah, I'm not shipping there anymore, and I really want to, if someone knows a better way of getting things there. But Mark ordered quite a lot of colors. Creative colors. I know 10 euros isn't cheap, but then again, I am a small business. I want to always send with a tracking number, and it is insured when it's shipped. I can't go any cheaper, to be honest. Like I said, I need to make that 11 before I open my shop, because all the costs that I don't cover, like shipping and things like that, are going straight out of my pocket. So yeah. It's the weight of the parcel, yes. Yes and no. It is like for the smallest package, and I'm always shipping in little boxes that can fit in your brief case, brief post box, mailbox. And it's the minimum amount sale, I think 120, 150 grams is already kind of 950-ish. It was to some places. Here in the Netherlands, we have like everything until 2.5 kilograms, I think, is 7.5 euros. Everything above that is like a rate as well. It's not. It doesn't go by the gram. Also, you know, fast is kind of I send it the fastest way I could send it to Mark, but when customs takes your paint, fast isn't going to be an option anymore. Especially, I didn't know the routes to Hawaii was that complicated when it came to shipping things. So Mark had quite a lot of delay with that. No, here it doesn't go with per gram. It's unfortunately. Let me quickly have a look. I don't think I can change. I don't think I can see that really quickly. Okay, I'm sorry, I just need to set some things right. I think this is okay-ish. Looks like it. Just quickly going to check if all the pictures of all the paints are loaded correctly in my Etsy. That could look a little bit better, but that's okay for now. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. So, I have added in my shop for this shop update. I have added natural blue 1 or genuine indigo, pigment green 16, zinc green PY 110, isolindion yellow. PB82 Maya Blue, Titanium White PW6, PR275 Cerium Sulfite Maroon, and PBK32 Perylene Black. Cheers to that. So that's 7 new single pigments, which makes a grand total of minus that. This actually counts for 3. So that's okay. 89, 88, 87. 87 single pigments in my shop. And then we have the Egyptian palette, the dot card, the Icelandic trio, the junior palette, and my Dirty Blue Essentials mixing set. So yeah, shall I open my shop? Shall I? Shall I do it at the end of the stream? Shall I do it now? Shall I do it at the end of the stream? Just chat for a little while and have you have your, so you can have a look. I have no idea how you pronounce the yellow, by the way. Where's my phone? It is what? Wait, let me just. Can I?
Isoindolinone is pronounced as isoindolinone.
Isoindolinone. Isoindolinone. Isoindolinone. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pigments. Isoindolinone. But then again, ChatGPT was right. So isoindolinone. Nice. Never going to say that again, probably. PY110. We can browse the shop now. Yeah, absolutely. Let's open it. Let's just be crazy and open my shop. Can I open my shop here? My shop is active. Let me have a look. Is that true? Is it true that my shop is active? If you will just wait one moment, I will share the link. Because just going to have a look if this works. So the shop is here. Let me have a look if I can. Oh no, what am I doing? This is the link. And I'm going to pin that on the top. The link is on the top. It is a kind of, it is my Etsy link, but it's also a it's kind of an affiliate link for my own website, giving me a better view of what people are looking at, not individually. So I'm not like I'm not looking at your cookies, but it kind of gives me a better idea of what products are more popular. People look at things and in more. It feels good to be open again. I have nothing in stock. I have everything in pre-order. I don't have nothing in stock, but let me just act like I don't have anything in stock. And the prices are starting from, because I have dots of everything. That's a very good question. Mark also asked me the question. Sorry I didn't reply to that, Mark. I fully forgot. When I get the 3-roll mail myself, it's still here, but when I do get it, will I offer tubes? I will definitely look into it. I'm open for doing custom orders for tubes, but I can't offer like I'm not going to offer 87 colors in tubes now. I just don't have the manpower for it. And that's just me being very, very honest. Etsy is weird. I have like a warning with of some of my listings because I only have one picture of it. I didn't have time to get more pictures or videos. Yay, JD! That's great news. Anyway, I didn't have time to get more pictures for some of the listings, and they warn me that people don't trust me when I just have one picture. That's why I did add my YouTube to my shop announcement in the top of my thing, because I do want people to trust me. I want them to know what they buy and how it's made and all the details about that. And Creative Colors, I agree with you. Last week I looked into setting up my own web shop-ish. I don't have time for it, I'm afraid, actually. 11 euros to Germany, yeah. That is tracked and with insurance. I don't think with bigger orders they will be fully insured, by the way. Full pens, that's a good question, Andrea. That's a custom order thing. I did offer them at some colors, like the colors that were most popular a while back. I put the option like full pens in it. I didn't sell anything. Yeah. Well, it's not like Creative Colors. It's not like they allowed the Chinese to get into it only. Dutch people from Germany that I know of, they use drop shipping on all market platforms. So yeah, selling or buying things from AliExpress or any like website from China that we can access easily is making it easy for us to do drop shipping and saturate the market with things we don't want to see. Yeah. Does it make sense to make Etsy parallel to an online shop? Yes. Yes, but then I also have a little bit of anxiety when it comes to organization. As you might have noticed during my streams, as you might have noticed in my organizing my swatches, I'm really afraid I will look over orders from one or the other. And I want to have some control. I want to have some kind of list where I can just see everything. And there literally might be options for that. I didn't have time for that to look at. And it's either taking it full scale in the online marketing and online shopping world, and then I need to quit YouTube. Basically, it's that. If there is someone who can do that for me, setting up my own shop with everything, and we can also make it a group project here for the regular viewers. I would be happy to see what's necessary for it, but I think I dropped some frames there. I got a notification there, but it's also my brain doing some overthinking. So that was just dropping frames from the inside, I think. Anyway, for me, I think, when you're selling online, you need to be a content creator. You need to be good at what you make. I mean, you're selling a handmade product because you're either very fascinated by something or have a big passion for something. Mark, that is quite a concerning thing that you're sharing here. It says 98 things, but it only shows 14. Oh, I do see that. Why is that? That's weird. You need to. How is that possible? If I'm looking at the mud watercolor paints, and you have you can filter it on most recent, and then you get just a few. Then you get just a handful. I don't know why it shows that handful. When you say lowest price, it gives me all of them, or highest price based on so you need to sort them by price to see all of them. I don't know why that is. But yeah, when you're a seller of a physical product, you need to thank you so much, Cool Chen. I'm going to look at what people ordered later, if that's fine. You need to be sure your product is good, and I don't have issues with making my product good, but I did encounter some issues with them not arriving properly because of shipping, very moist environments with the shipping. So you need to find solutions for that. You need to be a content creator because you want to put content out to show people what you're doing. That has kind of a technical side to it. I'm very fascinated by media things, so I taught myself how to use Photoshop, how to do video editing. This entire live thing, with the cameras and microphones and all things going on, that works kind of okay, I think. But to set that up and then realizing, YouTube is actually quite fun, and the videos, they're not like going viral, except for one, which has over 19 million views, by the way, the reel of Potter's Pink. But none of my other videos have that, by the way. It's like, I wished they had, but YouTube, is its entire own thing. I've dropped kind of Instagram. I didn't drop Instagram, but I don't put any time in it anymore. not because it's meta, but because it just doesn't. It never paid me for my content. I had an enormous grow in followers and like ridiculous viewer amounts on reels. Never got anything from that, and now they force me to use advertisement blocks, and I literally need to wait a few seconds before I can scroll any further. I don't really like TikTok as a content creator because it's too competitive when it comes to like giving that kind of satisfaction short video form in a way that's way worse than on YouTube, I think. YouTube, I use YouTube Shorts to kind of announce or introduce or promote a video that is already on my long form part of my channel. Robert, welcome, by the way. I haven't said welcome to you yet, and you've already shared a few things, but welcome. Back to the seller part, you need to make sure your distribution part goes well, the shipping part, you need to print out the labels, you need to print out the invoices, you need to wrap the pens, swatch it, you need to design the I need to design the pens. I'm printing them myself. I did it myself, but you need to design the labels, swatch the labels, think of nice things to add, maybe build up relationship with your customers. There's loads of elements with that, and then building and maintaining my own website is just a thing too many. I haven't even started about 3D printing and 3D scanning and things like that, which are just side projects for me. Thank you very much, Mark. And you're welcome, Sylvie. Now, Creative Colors, when I have my own website, the thing is, what Etsy does for me, and what YouTube does for me as well, by the way, like in comparison to, I did, when I was still making art, I did it on a Blogspot website-ish. And to get that, higher on Google, it took a lot of effort to use the right things, to use the right words, the right, to be searchable. Etsy does that for me. So yeah, there's a lot of things to say about the platform, but I know people can find me when they're looking for certain pigments, when they're looking for cerium sulfide maroon, or when they're looking for rare pigments, when they're looking for when they're interested in pigments and they're looking for anything that's not in the regular things, they will find me. I made sure of that with some of the pigments that I offer, but it's also their platform, which is just they pay a lot for it, and I need to pay for that. I fully agree with you about that part. But that's something it's very hard to do yourself. Yeah. I used to use Tumblr for this, by the way, but then I was inactive for too long. And yeah. Well, there's one good thing about pre-orders, Sylvie. Thank you very much. But there's one good thing about pre-orders, and that's I can always add more. Like if I know the demand is higher, I'm just going to make more because I need to make it anyway. Yeah. thank you very much, Gulchen. For your order. So for everyone who's on here and never made an order before, I just saw that Gulchen used it. Very wise of you, Gulchen. Can I can't. Why can't I share that? I can't share it. Oh, okay, that sucks. Ah, never mind. Ian, literally, there's a source of truth in all jokes, right? So you, yeah, Gulchen, that's the one. But I can't copy paste anything anymore. I don't know why, and it's seriously, my Etsy is loading. I really hope I don't drop frames for that. But you know, anyone on YouTube, if you use that code, you get a discount. Well, creative colors, that would be really hard for me to do when I want my YouTube to be my main source of income. Like in an ideal world, my paints would be kind of the product, you know, the paint that I make. The product that I make in my videos, and selling that like as a physical product, just as a byproduct of what I do for my YouTube, and then have an own website. You know, I can see that. I can see that happening. I don't need the traffic from Google. I don't need anything from anywhere anymore. But I do need the publicity now. For my website. Like I have 15,000 followers now here. Is that right? Is that 15,000 already? No, right? 50. Yes. 15,600 something. I'm really happy with that. I'm really. I don't notice that in the views in my long form videos, but it's mostly because of that one reel, of one short, which is really weird. But I don't see that in my clicks on the links on my YouTube. I don't see like 10,000 people, more people clicking on a link, which is like, obviously that's not how it works. It's just a small percentage who is actually interested in what I'm doing here, and others are just finding the one YouTube short very satisfying or fun or, you know, interesting. I don't know. Yeah, Gulchen, I know, and that's where I agree with you. I fully agree with you, and that's why I don't like TikTok, because some of them work like there, and I just kind of reposted here. And for some, it's just like more of a joke than making a serious video on how to make paint, because I have an entire playlist how to make paint. My lives are like partly filled with how to make paint and how to work with certain pigments. Creative colors, yeah, I agree, and that's why I really like these lives. Like I said, 15,000 followers. and there's just 17 of you now. Might be going live on the wrong time. Maybe 14,000 of those followers are sleeping right now, but I do have a connection with you. I do feel a connection. I do feel a bonding. There is the interaction on a personal level. It's not like too personal. We don't know all about each other. Although, seeing the order, Gulcan, I've seen it before, but now I remember what your real name is, which is really weird for me as someone like speaking to usernames here, and needing to send physical products to that person. Those are two completely different worlds in my head as well, and that's a really weird realization I have sometimes. But you know, that's okay, and your privacy is safe with me. That's for sure. But then I also notice how much apart these two worlds are. Yeah. These are just two separate worlds for me. Yes, I'm selling a product that I make with the same passion that I try to share with the YouTube video, and oh, is that because you paid via PayPal? You know, I'm going to. I'll probably forget. I will probably forget that tomorrow again. Yeah, I agree with you, creative colors. But then again, the thing I learned, and that's why I'm opening my shop right now. Things are not as polished as I want them to be. It's a good selection of paint, by the way. You ordered, Gulcan. I have this order open right now, but let's just open the shop again. Things in my shop aren't as polished as I want them to be. But if I'm going for that, I will never open it. I've talked about that 2 weeks ago, I think. And okay, it's still the right address, right, Gulcan? For YouTube, it's kind of the same for me. I've been thinking about some videos for a long time, and because of that, I never got to make them because I wanted too much in one video, or I wanted to have things too specific in one video. And sometimes you just need to just post the rough edit, or not even an edit at all. That's why I love these lives. I do have like my kind of own little production thing going on here. But this is actually quite simple. And now I'm just playing with it. It's actually quite simple, and I'm really happy with such a small investment. This was really just a very small investment, by the way. Just a few webcams and a little stream deck, the smallest, cheapest one. I think I even bought this second hand, by the way. I'm taking the pictures myself. All the pictures you see of the pigments, I'm taking those myself. I don't need to edit here. Editing takes a long time on my computer because, you know, I need to have to get this right and this right and this right. Here I don't need to edit. That's what I really love about live streams. I can just react on whatever people say to me here. And that's why I don't think my live streams are any, like these parts of the live streams, me just talking and reacting to the chat, aren't very interesting to rewatch at all. I don't know if there's anyone who's ever rewatched my lives. Please share your opinion. But I don't think it is, because I'm interacting with you. Oh, congratulations on that, Creative Colors. And maybe that's of like being an artist. I've sold my work in a gallery in the last period as an artist. That sounds very dramatic. Their fees were high, but I kind of miss that interaction, like people complimenting you and seeing your vision or creativity, admiring what you do in a way. You can chat about what you really like, and that's what I've found in the lives as well. I can chat about the things I really like, the things that fascinate me, and it even includes some games sometimes, or some music, or some movie, or whatever. It includes those things as well, and that's what I also love about you as an audience. A very intelligent, versatile, and very friendly group of people. And I do get like the positivity and the people can appreciate what I do here as well. Those who compliment you online are not the kind of persons who have the budget to buy original paintings. No, but that's not the audience I have right now. I mean, I've been to a VIP opening of a very prestigious art show in Amsterdam once. I was still at the art academy when I was visiting there. I got an invitation via my brother. And it's not about art there. It's not about the artistic part of the art that you see. It's people collecting things. People with a lot of money wanting to decorate their home or want to add things to their collection. There was nothing the money part is the part that an artist would like to see. And some artists make it because of that, with a very marketing way of looking at it. But looking at it from an artistic way was not the way I had to look at it that day. I wanted to hold an object, feel it, seeing it, appreciating the craft, appreciating the skill. And then there was just someone who bought a different version from that last year, but it doubled in price. And we're talking about 50, 60, 70,000 euro sculptures, right? And a nice thing about those is I was dressed terribly, by the way. I was literally, I had class in the morning, and then I just went by train. So I was literally just covered in paint, and that was terrible. But, people thought really highly of me, kind of, not like really highly in a way that, I don't think in a way with respect, but they thought I was kind of I must be some artist here who's selling their things. And it was like the $70,000 sculpture I was holding was one of the cheapest. So being considered as one of those artists was kind of a, like, okay, I'll go with this. I'll go with this flow. But someone bought something for 30,000 last year, and now it was 70,000. But he had to have it because it completed the set, and it was that easy. And there went a sticker on it, and it was gone. I've seen that happening with a $300,000 a painting as well, as if it was nothing. And then being a student who just loves to share his creativity in a visual way. Just about creativity, just about appreciation for materials and the skill of the artist, and then seeing that world open for me. That was really weird, and I'm not like, I've never been in that range as well. But some pieces I saw were just, I think, priced that high, in my opinion, name-wise and skill-wise, weren't worth that. But the audience on that day, if they saw something very expensive, they didn't really look at it. If it's very expensive, then it must be good, then I must buy it. It kind of went like that. And if that happens enough with you as an artist, even if you have work that isn't worth it, or I don't know if I'm the person to who can say that, like if it's worth it or not. But if there's enough people paying that money for it, then it is worth it. And if you keep selling that, you're going to get a name, so your price can get higher. It's a really weird world, and it has nothing to do with the skill of the artist, but the marketing of the gallery. And that kind of itched when I was there. It's like, I didn't feel right. Maybe I felt a little bit of envy. Like, well, I'd like to sell my work for that price as well. But on the other hand, yeah. I've had one of my works in a digital exhibition of a gallery, and it was quite a prestigious gallery. I didn't get anything for it because it was just a showcase of works that were Easter related, egg or Easter related, and I happened to have something involving an egg. It was quite a prestigious thing that they showed in their display on a screen in their windowsill. Very good street in Amsterdam. So, I was happy to have like my work in a slideshow there, just, with Easter or egg related things. And I was like in between the biggest artists that like they contacted if they were allowed to show the work there, and was just showing. And it was really fun for me, but it didn't get me anything. Like, never sold a thing because of that, I think. Anyway, I'm happy my shop is open again. And I also see I have a few messages which I will look at later. I'm not going to do that. I really thank you for saying this, Ian. It's, for me, it feels the same. I really appreciate the small group we have here every week, and whether that group is growing or not, I have the feeling it's growing. It's kind of now sometimes above the 15, maybe a little bit, in the low 20s in viewers. Whereas at the very, very beginning, we didn't pass the 10, I think. So I do enjoy the talks and all the informative things we share here as well. Some of my art, well, I have everything I have everything stored, and it's most of my two-dimensional work is underneath some very heavy glass frames over there. I think I do have them digitally. Maybe. Yeah, Creative Colors, you can buy views, you can buy followers. I've never done that, but there are, especially on my Instagram, there have been a lot of fake accounts following me, and I don't know why that kind of happens. I do know that I've deleted almost 2,000 of them. I had a paid app for a month. I used that to delete bots, just fake accounts or inactive accounts, and it was just 2,000 followers less on my Instagram. Yeah. I can share. I don't know if I can. Let me have a look. I can share. This is a painting I made. I made creatures. So basically, yeah, that's about it. I made creatures. Let me have a look if I can have a better way of showing this. This is maybe for the detail. This is a little bit better. So these were paintings. I think mixed media. 80 by 40 something, 50, 8 centimeters. Small drawing. Let me have a look. I made small drawings like this with colored pencil and watercolors, like the old biology books, with just made up creatures. But this was just like this was a collection of all very small drawings. Then I did 3D sculptures as well. This is the reef crawler. This is a creature I made up myself. I did like insect-like boxes, like they used to display insects and creatures, or insects mostly, like this, with sculptures of creatures in them. But they never did like creatures like frog-like or anything creatures in it, just insects. But I made creatures out of that in wooden boxes. Collections like that as well in a drawing. So this is like, these are my fingers. The drawings are like this big, so quite detailed drawings I did. I did use, like with this, I like the contrast complementaries. So one colored creature, details, all different kind of shades of the color. This was in a small exhibition somewhere. This was in during an exhibition as well. I'll have to look if I can find anything anymore. This was one of the egg things I made. So this was kind of an embryonic creature and things in kind of nutshells. I don't know what they were, what these are. Natural kind of things. Creatures growing in them. And this was just me. I do like this. It's ultramarine blue with bright orange. I've never considered myself to be a very, very good artist or anything like that, but I did like to express my creativity and thinking of creatures and thinking of, it was actually all about shape and color, contrast in shape, contrast in color, and that actually expressed itself as made up creatures. Because I'm also fascinated by nature and everything color. So yeah. Yay, egg, yeah. Why not? Because I think because of the marketing part, I couldn't sell myself. I couldn't convince people of my work would be worth a certain price. And to be honest, that's also because I have been on a few places that just wasn't the audience, and then it's never a good price. And the costs to join exhibitions, to join art fairs, and or even sell at a gallery. If you do have the contacts, which I eventually had a contact like that, the costs of that are quite high. Gallery wise, I just need to add their fee to my price. Like that's I need to keep. I need to earn a living. So everything that goes of it, I need to add beforehand. Making my price higher after I sell at a gallery as well. And at art fairs, for instance, like also more professional art fairs with really with quite a strict judging like entry system. It got too expensive for me to see what kind of came from it. So that's and then COVID happened. Like I had one okay, kind of successful art fair, and then COVID happened. All the art fairs like went down. The entire world went down, but then I started to look into okay, let's start working with pigments again, because I've done that before. I'm interested in that, and I made a few TikToks. 1, 2 went viral. Got a lot of positive feedback on that. Then I started Dirty Blue and putting my videos on YouTube, pictures on YouTube. Very quickly started sharing more background information on pigments with my posts. After that, I started Pigment Fact Friday, which was a Instagram story based pigment facts sharing. Oh wait, one moment please. Okay, my kids are waking each other up, and now they're making a show instead of sleeping. So I need to go. Yeah, I'm going to tell about how I became Dirty Blue after that. But that's what I made as an artist. Mixed media, sculptures, drawings, paintings. Digital things? I don't think so. Not a lot of digital things. I'm going to tell it later. I did work with a 3D printer though. Yeah, family first. So, guys, thank you very much for joining. And if you want to have a look at my shop, go ahead. If you want to buy something, please feel free. And thank you very much for joining this live stream, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you, Paolo. I didn't do that before, right? Did I? No. I'm going to share some more next time. But for now, I'm going to see what's going on. Bye, guys.